saw a robin outside today, and I'm going to tell you a story from the northwest coast, from the Sechelt people, how robin got its red breast. I'm going to show you my little robin. In the very beginning, when the world was young, and some of the first Sechelt people were living in a cave, many things were different than they are today. One of these was the robin. There was a robin, and he loved to get up early in the morning and cheer the first people with his happy songs, just like robins do today. But he lacked something. He did not have that glowing red breast that nowadays lends a splash of bright color to our green West Coast spring. He was just gray and dull all over. At the time of this story, the first people needed cheering up because the weather had been bad for a long time and it was bitterly cold outside. Day after day, the family crowded together in the cave. The grandfather, the grandmother, their sons and daughters, the wives and husbands of the sons and daughters, and many children and babies. One day, they realized they were running out of food to eat and wood to keep themselves warm. So the young men of the group were sent out, some to get wood and some to get meat. The old man and the women stayed in the cave with the children. The grandfather watched the fire and kept it going. Even when the women and children went to sleep, he stayed up and tended the fire. The only wood they had left was a few handfuls of sticks and bark chips, so he had to ration it out a tiny bit at a time. But he dare not let the flames die, lest the babies and little children get chilled and become ill. The young men stayed away many days hunting and looking for wood, and all that time the old man stayed up. The women lay down near the fire, the children tucked under blankets made of cedar bark, and each time they woke up, they were relieved to see their fire still going. Finally, all that was left were a few little embers. The grandfather kept them alive by dropping little twigs on them and blowing until the coals glowed brightly. But he was growing more tired every minute, and late in the night, he fell asleep. The embers grew dim, and the cave began to cool. Towards morning, the robin came along to sing his cheery wake-up song, but when he peered into the cave, he was alarmed to see the fire all but dead. He hopped into the cave, past the mothers and babies and the old man, who were all deeply sleeping. And when he reached the fire bed, the robin began to beat his wings. A draft swept across the cool gray coals, and a dusting of ashes settled over the sleeping people. The robin flapped more rapidly, and after a while the embers began to glow again, weakly at first, then with a rich red that warmed the dark cave. The bird's bulging little breast reflected the red glow of the fire, and soon the heat began to make him uncomfortable. But he kept flapping his wings so the fire would not die. Later in the morning, the little bird heard the call of the hunters coming back from their long journey. Just as they entered the cave, the bird flew out. As he flew past them, the men noticed something they had never seen before. The breast of the robin was the color of a glowing ember. Even now, the breast of the robin has a fiery redness, which can add a spot of warmth to the cloudiest day. And I hope this story adds that to your day too.